Welcome to another shit show of a video. Now this one's big. Stay tuned for this. So what prompts me to make this one? So there's been lies coming from phrase talking about video being half-baked, lies, and even AI generated somehow. I was gonna make this anyway, but since this has been said, I might as well mention it. I don't know how that could be AI generated. I just don't understand what part she's referring to. I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. So this video is basically going to be going over the lies. You know how she said I said slurs? Well, I'm not the one who said slurs here. I have evidence and proof of her actually saying slurs. And at the end of this video, I also have a call segment where I actually spoke with the victim and who also provided me with the first ever document. And that being the one, where I said it was 20-ish pages long, and that's the one they had the secret meeting over and dismissed. Yeah, that's the one. I have it, and we're going to go through that as well. But first of all, let's go over this being AI generated somehow. So this is Discord. This is the application right here. You can see that. So I can edit the message and whatnot. This is actual Discord. I'm going to press F12. Nothing happens. This is the application. This is me right here. My name. All my connections, all my links. This is her. Mutual servers. She's in SL. I posted this all in my YouTube announcement section, so if you want to go see that, just join the Titan Discord. It's in the description. If you want to go see that, pick up the role in laws. Now these are the slurs she said in that screenshot I shared before. This is a recording of the Discord. Now I'm not there, so I had someone else do this for me. So there they are, clear as day. Don't know what else to tell you. So here's another slur she said. Now this isn't one of the top 100 slurs people like to use, but it's still a slur nonetheless. Now this is Froggy, this is her Discord, that's her Discord name, all of it, all her roles, this is her. I don't know which part she's trying to say is AI generated. I don't understand. I don't know if it was the DMs, I don't know if it was any of the screenshots, I don't even know if it was that clip I showed of her being rude in the tower. Whatever she was trying to say was AI generated, well, I'm coming around this time to really prove it's not. Here we have the document. Now this isn't the full one. You see at the top here. So you see this is not the 66-page one. This is the initial document they got sent, which they dismissed for being out of context, not sufficient enough evidence of this guy being an absolute freak. You can see everything on my screen here. This is my pathway right here. So I just want to go over how bad this actually is that they dismissed this. Here we have the first sentences. It's messy, no index. Zero got COVID and can't help. I will send her document that has more professional read later. Since people wanted this now, and that one isn't finished, 3K messages to go through. Here's what I got so far. Here's all I have so far. No add-ons, no descriptions. If you need more, give me some more time, please. Thank you. Here are the first screenshots, and I think it's just absolutely fucking disgusting. It's genuinely vile that they can see this first page and then in the end conclude it's not enough. Oh, I just heard you were 16. Yeah, talking about SL here. Fuck the shit out of you. What if this was us but you were the skeleton? Despair but okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Ruin his birthday by telling him you're planning to meet a 20-year-old. Crossed out. Don't actually, of course, but imagine. Here he's clearly stating his age. Here's her age. This is the first damn page of the draft document that they dismissed. So here he tried to do some emotional manipulation tactics, which seemed to have some effect on Sock. She mentioned this in the call we did. Rip fly high. Crying from the ignoring, depression hitting hard. I still hear his voice. Gonna kill myself. IRL. Gonna go kill myself. Some emojis. Unironically was considering it this morning, but decided against. Well, there you have that. Overall, this is too long to go over in one video, so if you want to see this like it was shown on screen, you can view this in my Discord server. There is a link to that in the description below. I'm not sure if I explicitly said this in the last video, but it's just as bad as I expected it to be. I know I said this to some friends, but it's exactly what I thought it would be. Just absolutely abhorrent, and I mean, just take a look at it. This next section I have is the call I had with Sock, but we made it as concise as we could be. It's basically got all the details you need to know, what happened, all that, just her side of the story, everything that's gone on. Also, I just want to mention this here. It's kind of funny how everywhere else I see nothing but shit directed towards their server, but the only defense is coming from inside their server. And when they try and improve things, it's just like, hear me out, and there's no evidence. And I've explicitly said this in the description, but I'll say it again. If you guys have any evidence going against what I'm saying, negating anything, come forward to me, present it to me, and I will happily come forward and be like, look, I was wrong. I have no shame in that, but it seems like you guys do, considering everything in the past. So let's start off with basically who you are.
Okay, so I'm Sark. I was the victim, I guess you could say, of Todd. Like, I'm the person who made the document. I'm the person who he was talking to in all the screenshots. I was 16 at the time. I'm, of course, older now, but he was 20 at the time.
The first thing I want to ask is what did you send to them? Like, in what order did it go? Like, you mentioned there was a text, then something else, then something else.
In total, what I sent to the mods was there was the original accusation file, right, which was like, yeah, he's been saying these things to me. So then they asked for evidence, and then, I went and got, evidence, but I never got to finish it. So I sent them the unfinished version, the draft document. And then it was kind of a proof of creation that I was working on it because she gave me 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, I've got to go through and find like the bad things then. And then there was also then the final one, which I didn't send to Froggy. I sent it to Frains, and then it kind of, because at the end I said it could be like, messaged around and people could share it. That's how I got to Froggy and all that, because I had like Froggy blocked after, she didn't reply to me for like a whole last month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I did with the document wise.
So there was the initial text document, the draft document, and then of course eventually the
final.
66-page one
Yeah.
that everyone knows. What initially happened when they first refused the first document? Because we all know it was refused.
Froggy basically sent me a message that she was doing this mod meeting, and she was like, I'll come back to you with like what they all thought. And oh, hang on, sorry. It was a vote. Yeah, they did a vote, and I'm pretty sure there was 4 people in there. And then she just came back to me, basically saying, "Yeah, that's not it. Sorry, we've given him a warning," and that was kind of it. And then there was nothing else on it. So I kind of thought that she had just ditched everything. So all of like the clips I had for the document and everything, because I told her it was unfinished, I deleted them all because I was like, I have no chance of redeeming it, of trying again, because they were the highest people I could go to,
Yeah.
and no one else could do anything.
So what do you know about that secret meeting? Do you know anything at all?
I know there was 4 people. It was a vote, so it clearly, it had to be 3 out of 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Froggy, Frains, I think Krabby, and then someone else.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure on Krabby, but all I knew was that she was there on my behalf apparently, and she called it with the draft document because I don't know if she misread it or if she just went with it because she was sick of me taking so much like time. But
Mm-hmm.
she went in with that, and then she came out saying that he only got a warning.
Yeah,
So
and I'm just gonna mention this now, where she is saying she's having this meeting on your behalf. So she was completely aware was what I was talking about, but just
yeah,
decided
there
to.
was there was a meeting.
Yeah.
It was very blatantly there. It was in the actual document itself, like at the end when I was talking about Froggy because of the way she handled it.
Mm-hmm.
And all I know is that no one else below the 4 people were in there actually knew about it, because when the other moderators approached me, they were like, "We didn't know about this," and only they did. So basically, none of them knew that Todd had done all this stuff and that he was a terrible person, but they still kind of, worked with him,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of bad.
That's that's fucking crazy. So how much time in total did they give you to make the document? So like how many weeks, days, you know?
For me, the original time I think was 2 weeks, because it's even in there because Froggy was like, "I gave you 2 weeks." They gave the other person who worked on it, Zero. I think they gave her like a week, but then she quote unquote ghosted them, but it was because of medical stuff, which
Mm-hmm.
I did tell them, and I put on the original draft document. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't control her, so they were asking me like for like kind of an apology on her behalf, but I don't control her. She does her own thing.
Yeah.
In total, I think it was only 2 weeks, but then when I wrote the final one, I think Naj gave me like 4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
or like maybe under that, but it was greatly appreciated what she did, really.
Shout out to Naj on that. What did they say basically about the first document to you? Like, what was everything that you can remember being said?
Hang on. Let me see. Well, with the first document, the draft one, originally all I was given from Froggy, I'm pretty sure, was just like she would react to it with like a sticker of like a frog thinking, and then I would reply like, "What do you mean by this?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah, this is a frog looking for evidence or something like that." But
Yeah.
I kind of that's when I was like, okay, It's either they didn't look at it or that wasn't enough.
hmm I do know of the fact that they, and this is not something I can guarantee and prove 100%, and what I've also been told, I've been told that they only had a quick glimpse at it.
I wouldn't be surprised because all she did send me was like stickers, and then the other time I was like asking for something else. I think she sent me like an emoji and then didn't reply for like a week, I think it was. So
hmm
the communication on like her end was kind of bad. But apparently it was because she had exams and she was working a full-time job and doing all this. So I was kind of understanding, but then at the same time it was like they basically told me like, we're doing this, we're putting all this aside, and I'm pushing all my work and my exams out to figure this out. And I was like, if you have all that stuff, why don't you just give me a little bit more time and then I can just figure it
Yeah,
out.
work in favor of both of you, really.
Yeah, it really would have. But then she kind of um like near the end of it where she got frustrated at me and like kind of mothered me instead of answering my questions about who had sent her more screenshots on Todd, which by the way she never replied to. She completely
Damn.
ignored that part. She was like continuing to talk about my attitude towards her because I was frustrated that she wasn't replying to my messages about Todd, because this was about her moderator, her friend, you know, being a bit of a freaky little guy.
hmm
But she just focused on the fact that I was apparently treating her bad or whatever. But it was like I even told her, please don't read it that way, and she still did. So
I'm going to leave this one here. It's getting a bit long here, but if you want to see more of what Sock had to say, there will be an unlisted video in the description down below. So if you want to see the full thing, it'll be there.